SADC Parliament is holding its 41st plenary sessions in Seychelles. The Assembly meets twice a year. The current meeting is being held under the theme Harnessing Demographic Dividend in SADC through Investment in Youth. The Assembly is the highest decision-making body of SADC PF. Sheuneni Kurasha, a SADC Parliamentary Business Focal person, joins us on the line from Seychelles. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for making time to talk to us. Just give us a breakdown of the theme of this current plenary session.
As you are aware that the youth constitute about 67% of this region's population. And meanwhile, our country's economies are either experiencing a declining economy or where there's growth, that growth does not have enough jobs for the youth. So this theme, which also happens to be the theme which the African Union is running under, is an F44 by parliamentarians from the SADC region to explore ways in which we can accelerate the meaningful involvement of our young people in both the political processes but also in the economics of our country.
When we talk youth, we talk about a variety of age groups and counting from 16 to 35. So you'll find that the main problem stems from education, and education synchronized from what kind of specialty and what do these young people want to be, so that if they're looking for jobs, then they can target specific industries they want to go to. It looks like every time when we talk about job creation for the youth, we talk in general terms. But then how are we going to narrow this to different specializations in various sectors of the economy?
When you look at the concept of demographic dividend, access to education is one of the many facets of that we're considering. One of them, the facet is access to health for young people, including young girls. We're also talking about the challenges of child marriages, which are common in most of our countries, but of course the issue of employment creation. As I mentioned earlier, our economies do not offer sufficient employment. There's probably a need to therefore look at a variety of ways to enhance the skills of our young people. We need to look at how we can benefit from each other in terms of putting in place, for instance, access to polytechnic education, where the young people have more access to STEM, science and technology, so that beyond looking for formal employment, they also have the skills where they can help in the informal sector. As you know that most of our economies are dualistic. You have the formal economy, but that formal economy is accommodating 20% or less of our people. The remainder find themselves in the informal sector. So we need to give them appropriate skills so that they are able to therefore find space and meaning within that sector, which is absorbing the majority of the young people.
Yeah, I do understand the point that you're making, but when you look at the plight of a black child in any African society, you will find that even when children have to have access to education, paying for it will be a problem. And besides that, even issues of nutrition, issues of accommodation at university, affording textbooks and so forth. When they graduate, they have suffered a lot. And then when they want to be job creators, still they struggle when they start their enterprises because they cannot find finance for them and so forth. Now, looking at those kind of challenges, how do you envisage to remove all these hurdles? Not to say that they should be given opportunities on a silver platter, but for them to be able to thrive in the mainstream economy?
One of the things that came up, for instance, this afternoon when members of parliament from the region were deliberating, is that one, it's not an issue that we do not have sufficient resources, but probably we are not utilizing the resources we have more efficiently. The issue of corruption, for instance, there is evidence available that if we stem out corruption and be able to utilize resources we are leaking through corruption, those resources would be able to go towards social services, including education, which would benefit young people. You also look at the issue of natural resources, the exploitation of natural resources. As we speak, SADC has prioritized the issue of beneficiation of resources that are coming from the region. If we concentrated our efforts on utilizing what we have, forget the resources we don't have, there's an extent to which we are convinced as the parliamentarians of the region that we should be able to sufficiently address some of the challenges that our young people are currently facing.
All right. Now, just very briefly, we're having a very hard-pressed economy throughout Africa. I mean, like, I'm speaking to you now from a country which is in a technical recession, and of course, we are on junk status rating. So now, how do you discuss the issue of job creation when we are experiencing such difficult economic times?
The issue is there is never going to be development without sacrifice. We must be able to make hard choices as the region, as the leadership of this region. One of the areas where we see absorption of the majority of our people in terms of employment is manufacturing, is agriculture. It is through concentrating or putting our efforts in those sectors where we have opportunity to employ a majority of our people that we could be able to come out of this. I mean, the recession is going to be, it is a reality, and we need to be able to say, for us to develop, we need to sacrifice. That sacrifice means we concentrate effort on those areas where we can create most jobs. We call for beneficiation in the extractive industries, for instance, by the SADC Summit. Something that needs, where we need to move from the talk to walk, the talk to see that we take practical steps to operationalize that. Unless and until we do that, we'll continue to have this problem. So it is within our means to be able to resolve the current challenges we're facing, but that cannot happen unless and until we give more concentrated focus on the areas where we are likely to have the low-hanging fruits and be able to absorb, a good number of our young people.
Sheuneni Kurasha talking to us live from the Seychelles about the economic job creation summit that is taking place at the moment, and he is the Parliamentary Business Focal person representing SADC.